time, Pope Liberius decided to institute Christmas Day as December 25th, and it happened in the 4th century AD. Many customs that we consider today Christmas customs were already in place. For example, the Romans used to have a wonderful winter celebration called on December 17th. And during that celebration, it was a carnival, and people smoked places, and masters for the servants enjoyed themselves at the table while the masters served them. Imitation foods were very, very popular. For instance, you could be served turkey, well, not turkey, of course, because turkey is American, but you could be served capon, you could be served fish, you could be served all kinds of foods which were made totally of not the food stuff that were supposed to be made of. And this tradition actually is quite alive and well in our days. For example, you can find wonderful imitation foie gras dishes in the cuisine of France today. You can find wonderful imitation ginger in German cuisine. You bake. Actually, this one is quite interesting. You make a very thick pumpkin marmalade, and then when it sets, you glaze it with chocolate. Because we had a lot of powdered ginger, and then you glaze it with chocolate. And it's a kind of wonderful Christmas sweetmeat. It is really fantastic the way all the pagan and Christian food traditions mix themselves in their. For example, the Germans, the Germanic people had it very big with the Christmas log. The log that was supposed to burn in the fire from Christmas to Twelfth Night, and then you had to take it out and keep it all year long, and then you will have amazing luck all year long, obviously. Well, it's funny we don't see the Christmas logs in English or in German traditional cuisine, but you do see a Christmas log in French cuisine. So, this Christmas log tradition somehow became a very fashionable Christmas dessert in the 19th century. And we all know that it's called bûche de Noël now, and we can see in the stores, ice cream made like a Christmas log and so on. So it's a Germanic tradition that came through France, and then from France back to everywhere to Germanic countries like England, like Germany, and basically like Canada and America and so on. So basically, all the Christmas foods we have and all the Christmas symbols we have is our struggle to combat the dark winter times, winter for the light and for the sun to come back. So that it's all based on the solstice and solstice celebrations. But that doesn't mean that we can't enjoy it, because there's so many good things that are born out of it. And now we can turn back to the history of food itself and see what kind of sweets, if we're speaking of Christmas sweets today, what kind of sweets were typical for this period of year, the darkest period of the year, when one really had to keep one's spirits up, because otherwise it's too gloomy for words. So, of course, in ancient Rome, you didn't have sugar, you didn't have chocolate, but you did have honey. So basic ancient Roman sweets, if you had them, they're always doused in honey. Another thing that was very, well, as we all know, we all like to shell out for Christmas and for the holiday period, so it's the biggest shopping experience ever. And of course, people didn't change that much, The luxuries, they were reserved for the holidays. So what was the luxury in ancient Roman time? What was the luxury to be used for sweet? Nowadays it's chocolate, but back then, who knows what was the biggest thing that one could put into sweets in ancient Rome. But honey was kind of basic, but what would really be be the icing on the cake, figuratively speaking. Of course, pepper, black pepper. So the good sweets of Asian Rome, the really, haute cuisine sweets of Asian Rome had always liberal sprinkles of black pepper added. Be it a kind of delicious walnut flan, or be it dates stuffed with nuts, with walnuts and pine nuts, and a liberal dose of black pepper and fried in honey. Black pepper always found its way into the best of sweets in Asian Roman times. But then what happened? Black pepper wasn't such a rarity anymore. It wasn't so expensive, so obviously it was no good for splurging. And the role of black pepper moved to ginger. Ginger was more expensive, and ginger was the black pepper of the medieval times. So that we can still have the umbrella word gingerbread for everything, spicy and related to medieval baking habits. Although in fact, gingerbread doesn't refer to bread at all, because it's a corruption of Latin word gingerberatum, which just means something with ginger added to it. It just so happens that ginger was very popular for baking, and we have all this kind of hard gingerbread based on molasses with ginger, or we had those soft, as we say in North America, cookies, basically by rice, which should be what we also call gingerbread. It's like pepernoten. If you cook with honey, that's a very funny. The honey-based sweets basically turn really hard after you bake them, and then after several weeks they come into their own and become really soft. Whereas other sweets do the opposite. They're soft after you bake them, they turn stale. Whereas the sweets baked with honey remain very good throughout the year, and I once by accident I found a little stash of this German Pfeffernüsse in a tin left over from Christmas. I think it was in July or maybe even in October, and I do assure you that they were perfectly good.